For life, for life.
You know, to this very day, even with more victims stepping forward and speaking out at a rapid clip, you've got so many guys out there that still insist on defending Vince McMahon. And it's not a good look. Is it because you know that once everything is discovered about Vince, that one of your personal heroes is going to be implicated with him, like Brock Lesnar was, and like it's looking John Cena is, and The Rock will be? Or are you seriously still a fan of Vince? Even after everything I'm sure you've heard by now. I mean, Vince McMahon and the deep corruption throughout WWE that's being uncovered is almost the entire pro wrestling news cycle now. It really would be the entire news cycle if it wasn't Mania season and Sting didn't just retire. So, I'm positive you know all about it. Much of it you may have even heard here on Wrestling Insight. So, I don't have to spend this video yammering on about all of it, do I? You can claim that these victims were willing participants, and let me preface this. I'm not talking about Janelle Grant here, because Janelle Grant and the things done to her were just the tip of the iceberg. Janelle Grant is not what I'm focusing on here. If you want to know the way deeper, darker things I'm focusing on with Vince McMahon and the WWE, please feel free to check out my conspiracy playlist where I talk about it all in depth. And yes, they may have been willing, these victims, at some point in time as a means to an ends. I mean, we are talking about these people's livelihoods here. And desperate people sometimes do desperate things, even if all they're desperate for is artificial fame and tarnished riches. But once you're already blackmailed with more minor but still embarrassing and not to mention career and life ruining things, and then pretty much forced into much, much worse things, oftentimes with very gruesome and questionable endings to both their careers and lives. This is a big problem, much bigger than professional wrestling. I think it's safe to say that we're talking about crimes against humanity here, people. Are you going to tell me that you're okay with that? That you condone the type of things mentioned in the Janelle Grant lawsuit, the text messages from Vince, and all of the deep dark mysteries within the WWE that my viewers and I have discussed in depth here on the channel, like Ashley Massaro, and all of the suspicious deaths in the industry. If you're okay with all of that, that would lead me to question your moral integrity, if so. And if you personally would do these sick things that he's done. I've had commenters come through and say this a lot lately. This is the age of truth. And it's not just pro wrestling that's being exposed. It's every single sector of the entertainment industry, and the sick, sad things those at the top of it did and hid from us for so many decades. And you know what? Yes, I know. I've been following this all closely across entertainment for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's kicked into overdrive in 2024. Listen, people, don't get exposed with the rest of them, because everything is coming to light, and I would much rather be on the side of those standing up to this stuff right now. Like I said a few days ago, yes, I think WWE is done. Cooked. Or at least as we know it today. Once the dust clears on the unveiling of all this corruption within the company, for as far back as, well, at least as far back as Vince McMahon Jr. taking ownership of the damn thing, I just don't see a world where the WWE name is worth much. And at the very least, the company is going to end up needing a massive refresh on talent. That I'm fairly positive. So, I know there's other YouTubers and pro wrestling journalists that are out there just feverishly defending Vince and the WWE. And to you, I'll say the same thing I said to people who enjoy coming to my channel and doing the same thing here. You're going to go down with the sinking ship if you proceed. And I know I personally wouldn't want to be the one to go down in history as defending this garbage, because it's going to ruin you just like it's going to ruin them. No, I want to be the one, or one of the ones, who were out there at the forefront leading the charge on exposing it all. And hey, you know what? That's what I do right here at Wrestling Insight. So please, if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe for me if you haven't already. Ring the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. I talk about a lot of different pro wrestling topics here. News, rumors, history, conspiracy, video games. I've even got a game night series in the works using a wrestling-themed card and dice game. It should be really fun. The bottom line is, if you're into pro wrestling, Wrestling Insight is your channel. This has been Blaze. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, take care.